a report on CNN that has not been played on Fox, that will never be played on MSLSD, and is likely not to be played on any of the network programs, although my mentioning here may shame them all into doing it. I don't know. But it's very, very important that you hear this. This is a CNN report by this reporter named Griffin, who's actually quite good. Turn up the volume. We'll turn it up here, too. Cut 9, go.
Anderson, what's going on is behind-the-scenes attempt by the White House to at least keep insurers from publicly criticizing what is happening under this Affordable Care Act rollout. Basically, if you speak out, if you are quoted, you're going to get a call from the White House, pressure to be quiet. Several sources tell me, and my colleague, Chris Freitz, that insurance executives are being told to keep quiet. Bob Lazuski, who heads the Health Policy and Strategy Associates, a consulting firm for big insurance and an outspoken critic of Obamacare, says he is getting calls from these executives who want him to speak out, Anderson, for them about the problems because they feel defenseless against the White House PR team. Lazuski told me today the White House is exerting massive pressure on the industry, including the trade associations, to keep quiet. The source is telling us they feared White House retribution.
I'm waiting for the days when this White House goes after executives in the radio business. We'll see. But that's not my point. My point is, look at what this White House is doing. Do you believe that a White House that is capable of this would have enough self-restraint not to use the IRS to go after the Tea Party movement, to go after pro-Israel movement, to go after evangelicals? I don't. I believe we don't have all the facts in this at all. And I will repeat something, and I hate to repeat something, but I repeat them because it means they're not being done. The reason why I've called for Boehner's political head for more than 2 years now is he doesn't want to get to the bottom of anything. We should have had a special investigative committee, a special oversight committee on Benghazi. We should have had a special investigative committee overseeing the IRS abuses of law. You ready for the next one? And we should have a special investigative committee that oversees this Obamacare disaster. That would mean that the members of Congress who are assigned to this committee, or that committee or the other committee, these special committees, and their staffers are focused only on those objectives. And the staffers have particularly unique law enforcement skills. That doesn't mean they've served on Capitol Hill for 300 years. No. It means you bring in former assistant prosecutors or current assistant prosecutors, among others, who know what they're doing, or even criminal defense counsel, who will help the committee, who also know how to investigate, how to conduct depositions, to gather interrogatories and so forth, because this is just outrageous. And the fact that we have these committees flailing around, I'm not trying to criticize Darrell Issa or this guy Upton or this one or the other one. I'm sure they're perfectly good men. They're not up to this, folks. This isn't about just having some politician in charge of an investigation with a staff that he likes. This is about us, our country. The fact of the matter is we need these committees to be extremely aggressive and, more than that, to be effective. And they're not going to be effective the way this is going on. How do I know? Well, look at them. Oh, we get a headline now and then, a piece of information now and then, but that's about it. Who the hell is putting the shoulder on the insurance companies and those executives and telling them they're not allowed to speak? Which one of the mobsters at the White House is doing it? There's Valerie Jarrett. How does she get to keep secluded over there, secreted over there, when she's the Svengali behind the scenes? So who's putting their hands on the shoulders of these insurance companies? This isn't about protecting insurance companies or being sympathetic to insurance companies. They're not even allowed to speak, apparently, the executives. They didn't like the Tea Party, they went after the Tea Party. They don't like the insurance companies to go after the insurance companies. They don't like the oil companies to go after the oil companies. They don't like the coal companies to go after those companies. And what are companies? These companies employ, in the aggregate, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of you. You. And what are they doing with Obamacare? They're going after you, as we knew they would. And now Obama who said, if you like your policy, you can keep it. He didn't say, oh, we have old individual market, we got to change that. Or you had a subpar plan, so we got to change that. Who the hell does he think he is to tell anybody anything? And now the word's gone out. If you criticize this and you work for a company, we're going to punish you. That's what they're saying. We're going to unleash our regulators, our IRS, who knows what else, and we're going to punish you. And these men and women who work at these places, they're fearful. They feel threatened in the United States of America. Can you imagine a Republican president putting out the word to these union boss thugs like Trumka and the rest of them? Hoffa, keep your mouth shut, or we're going to unleash the Labor Department and the FBI and God knows what on you. Can you imagine the hue and cry that would go on in this country? We have second-class citizens, third-class citizens, non-citizens. It's just unbelievable how people are being treated in this country. Depending on whether you support this massive federal leviathan and their politicians or not. If you're on the take and you want ever more government and you vote for Democrats, you're a first-class citizen in this country. Even if you're not a citizen, you're a first-class citizen. And it even gets worse.